Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly Q&A for this week, leading up to Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 6, which is called Blood of My Blood. First one with this one is we're going to be talking about the possibility of us seeing CleaganeBowl before the end of the season. Alright, so this is a fun one. This is a fun topic. So spoiler warning if you're not caught up on Game of Thrones Season 6, but also if you don't want to hear about fan theories and you're not into that, or, you know, it could be right, could be wrong, this kind of deal, then you may not be interested in the video. So what is CleaganeBowl? What the hell are we talking about for people that don't know? So what it is basically a fan theory. It's another fan theory with Game of Thrones that what we may see happen is we may see Sandor the Hound Clegane, who in Game of Thrones, the television series, we have not seen if he is actually dead, like dead for sure. And you guys know how it goes with regards to TV series. If they don't show you a body, and even sometimes if they do show you a body, that doesn't mean they're dead for sure. You know, it's pretty hard to tell. It's like not until about a season later that you can probably confirm that, okay, so-and-so is dead for sure. So with regards to Sandor the Hound, we don't know if he's still out there alive or if he is dead. It seemed like he was dying, seemed like he was dead, but you know, there are some theories based on A Song of Ice and Fire that he may still be alive, he may still be out there. And they did not show in Game of Thrones him actually dying, and Arya did not finish him when he called out for her to do so. You know, she allowed him to live. She left as he was injured and everything and sitting there. So the theory goes a bit like this. Of course, we know now, which is confirmed, which was a pretty good confirmation in the Game of Thrones TV series to get the idea that Robert Strong is actually Gregor Clegane. So he is the Mountain. Reanimated. And it was cool for them to kind of come right out and say that in the TV series version. I think that's good. So the idea is that we could see kind of a rematch between the brothers, which we haven't seen since the first season back in Robert's reign, when, you know, you have the two who kind of face off against each other, and they got the huge, you know, monster broadswords going against each other. It's pretty freaking epic. So, for me, I love this theory. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. We've heard from some descriptions that we may be seeing in either episodes 6 or 7, kind of some kind of unknown face return, unknown character return, something like that in some of the descriptions I've read online. So could it be possible that that could be the Hound, and that he could be the Faith's champion, so to speak? He could be their leader, so to speak, because he is. If you look at him, I mean, he is powerful, and he, of course, was the one who led the battle for the most part against Stannis at the Blackwater. Aside from when Tyrion takes him afterwards, you know, he says "fuck the king" and the whole thing. That's pretty awesome. But initially, he's the one who's going out there to lead the charge. So he is a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. And even though, you know, I mean, he can be taken down, of course, as he was defeated by Brienne. You know, he's still really tough to deal with, and I think it'd be really cool if they were to go this route. I think it's an awesome fan theory, and I think it'd be great. And the reason why I decided to include it in this week's Q&A is because, of course, we're getting to see from the promo that you have the High Sparrow and you have Jaime, and they've got all the troops. They're ready to go, and it looks like Margery's up there. And some people are saying, "Trev, do you think we'll see Margery nude and stuff?" It's like, probably. I don't know. I will have to see, man. I wouldn't be against seeing that, you know, that's what it is. But it's funny because it looks great, though. You got the steps and everything. She's there. You got the High Sparrow. He's there. And, you know, it seems like Jaime is just going to absolutely, him and all of his troops are going to massacre the Faith. So this brings in some kind of interesting questions. Can things ever be that simple in Game of Thrones? It seems like to me, things can never be that simple, and as I said in my predictions video, that maybe the High Sparrow has something up his sleeve. He has an ace in the hole, so to speak. Is that Sandor? Could he come out with some, I don't know, big, huge-ass mallet or something, and chains, ready to clobber some dudes? I don't know. I think that would be wicked cool, and I hope that's what they do with it. So I love the theory. I think it's great, and I think if they are going to do it in the series, because we know that you know, the development team, the producers and everything, they've talked about how they're probably planning on 13 episodes after season 6. Yeah, I know, as bad as that sucks, I'm going to shoot myself because I love Game of Thrones so much. It's going to be so sad to see it end after so many amazing seasons. But I feel like if they're going to do it, now is the time to watch. They didn't do it with Lady Stoneheart. They didn't use the character. There's some others like Cold Hands and that they haven't used in the TV series version. But if they're going to do it, this whole kind of gravedigger, theory, Sandor, if it is true, if they're going to do it, now's the time. This week and next week, episodes 6 and 7 are probably the ones to watch for. And, I'm really hoping that they do, because I think that would just be so freaking cool. I'll keep the Q&A a little bit short for today. I won't go into too many, but if you guys have more questions for this week, definitely send them to me, and I'll do them, and then I'll do another Q&A this week for Game of Thrones. Next one was from Vanilicious Delicious, and he or she says, "Good day, mate." I don't know, maybe from Australia or something. Australia. Who do you think? That's terrible, I know. Who do you think it's best? Who do you think is the best fighter of all time in Game of Thrones in melee combat? 1 versus 1 between Jaime or Ser Barristan Selmy against the Master, dual-wielding swordsman who massacred Ned Stark's men, Sir Arthur Dayne. And he says, sorry, I don't know the name. Well, that's his name. Keep up the great work. Man, that is hard. I'm going to answer this the way I answer these kind of questions with regards to mixed martial arts, and I always have. Styles make fights. So it depends. You could get into a situation where one person could beat somebody else, but then someone else could beat that person, and maybe there is nobody who is absolutely on top. Like, for example, Ser Barristan could be, the most skilled and the most technical, but then you have the Mountain who might just be able to grab him and squish his head or something, but you might have somebody like, the Red Viper, who against the Mountain is very effective and is able to keep his distance and be really fast and pick him apart, but then eventually get lazy and get smashed. So, it's not a bad bet if you were to say the Mountain's probably the best, or you were to go with something like that. It's pretty hard for anybody to see. You've got Khal Drogo, you've got some of the, there's some pretty awesome. Jaime, of course, is pretty good too. Or Sir Arthur Dayne, and there's lots of other ones as well too. Even Eddard, is, well, I guess he's pretty good. I wouldn't say he's maybe at some of the levels some of the others. But styles make fights, and it's hard to say who is the number one. But since the Mountain was able to beat the Red Viper at the end of that fight, even though he could have been finished, going with the Mountain's not a bad call. But now that he's kind of an undead version, if we did see CleaganeBowl, I would probably think that Sandor would probably win that, because it's like, he's probably not as good as he was when he was alive, that kind of deal. But yeah, you could go with like Ser Barristan if you want to say, okay, he's the best fighter there is. It would just be interesting to see him against somebody like the Mountain, because how would he fare against somebody that is as amazing as he is, somebody who's just freaking colossal, You see that in mixed martial arts sometimes. You take the most technical guy, and I used to like back in the day when there was no weight classes, and you throw in some huge guy and just see what happens sometimes. It's just craziness. So it's hard to say who's the number one best there is. Maybe Ser Barristan you might have to go with based on the story and the way it goes. But again, it's really hard to say. Anyway, I'll call it here for today, as I'll keep today's a little bit short for the Q&A. Send me the rest of your questions for you guys for another Q&A later this week. Of course, can't wait for the rest of Game of Thrones Season 6. So excited, and I really hope we see the Hound return. I think it's worth it. I think they should do it, and I think it'd be really cool to kind of show that. We'll know in the preview. Watch the preview. Keep an eye out for the preview. If you see a flashback in the preview of Sandor's death, some shit's going down. It should be good. Anyway, that's all I got to say for this one, guys. I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys are too. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, you want to see more videos from me, then do yourself a favor. Subscribe at the bottom left. And I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you again real soon. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.